We are live. How's everybody doing out there today? I did post a picture of an update of what we're going to be doing today. I have about 5 new decks. I need a little help picking out which one we're going to set up today. I did a setup video a couple of weeks ago. It didn't really work out. I set up a whole brand new complete, new bushings. Sometimes when I set new completes up, the one thing that really bothers me is when a board turns crooked left or right. It's just not skating. It's just not skating the way that I like. So I had to take it apart, throw on my old trucks. But I noticed that one of my bushings, on one of the bones bushings, is like really getting smashed, which I rarely break bushings. So, and I've been riding this same set of trucks for quite a while now, so it is time for a new setup. Also, a new opportunity arose for me. I'm now a part of this foundation called Skate Haven. And it is for autistic children that want to learn how to skateboard. And I was approached to be the second person to join this, it's a program. It's a government program. It's me and Vincent Luevianos. I might be saying his last name wrong. He rode for Powell. He now rides for Daggers. So me and him are going to be doing this program. They're going to be putting more people on as they go. I'm really excited to share this with you guys. Tomorrow's my first day, actually. Saturday was going to be my first day. But they asked if I could come and do it tomorrow and get introduced to the program, get introduced to my first kid. I am going to be at Bellflower Skate Park tomorrow from 9 to 12. With that being said, I probably would like to go live while I'm doing the program just to give you guys an insight of what I'll be doing. So knowing that I'm probably going to be doing this about 3 or 4 days a week, I'm really excited because it's something that I want to share with you guys, and it's something that's really personal to me that I'm able to help kids in that way and teach them, and you know, it's going to be a learning process for myself. Oi, how are you? Hello from Los Angeles, California. So yeah, I want to take you guys on this journey with me. I'm so excited to see what this brings. I'm also going to try and collaborate where I work with Pizzanista. So when we do events and everything, I'm even going to try and bring Pizzanista into this program. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be my first day. I'm really excited to see where this is going to take me in the future. I think this is going to be a huge program. There is no program out there for autistic children. So I think this is just going to be something different because I know that there's programs for blind people, you know, etc., whatever disabilities that are out there. For some reason, you know, this part of it hasn't really been touched. So this is going to be something new for skateboarding, and I'm really excited to be a part of this program. With that being said, we're going to get back to this setup video. I do have some boards here. I want you guys to help me out pick a board. Here, I have this Spencer Hamilton, I have a Wade DeSarmo, another P-Rod, and I think this is a team deck here. What do you guys think? Which one should I set up? I also just posted a new short, I think it was yesterday, going through the 6th Street Bridge. So if you guys didn't get a chance, go check that short out. I'm also been getting a lot of good support from everyone with the channel. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. It's from where I started, I can't even believe how many subscribers I have right now. With the love, support, you guys are keeping me going. And with all these new opportunities coming my way, it's even more stuff for me to share with you guys. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the future. I think it's going to be a great summer. And I'm just going to keep going with it and stay positive. John Bell, thank you for your support. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of cool new stuff coming tomorrow. I would like to go live at my first class and introduce you guys to what I'm gonna be doing. So definitely keep a lookout for that, John. Should I do the Call of Duty one? I know that was the one. I really was thinking of doing that one too. I like this one. Personally, when I set up boards, I like dark colors. I don't personally like wearing really bright colors. Yeah, this one looks sick, huh, John? So, most of the time I wear a lot of dark clothing as well. Maybe a bright shirt here and there. But I just think it looks kind of weird when you're wearing like dark clothes and then you got a really bright board. Or, you got a really dark board and on bright clothes. That's just not my speed. So I really prefer to keep everything, or I try to match it. And what's really weird is most of the stuff I don't ever get to pick out when I'm getting it. So most of the time it just works out, and the packages that I get just so happen to match my clothes, my shoes. So it just makes things a lot easier. But yeah, personally I like this one because I love a black skateboard, all black, whatever, not bright colors. So I'm definitely thinking of going with this one. Right here we have a Spencer Hamilton. And so one thing I want to point out to you guys is that a lot of people don't know this. Even though they're all primitives and they're all the same size, they're all 8.5s. The shape and the mold are not the same. So team boards, which I've noticed since I've been skating, a lot of team boards, they're a lot flatter. This Spencer Hamilton has a lot of concave. It's pretty steep. So yeah, I'm noticing that team boards are a little flatter than pro models, obviously, because whoever's pro model it is, they design the shape and the mold the way they want. I ride a lot of Paul Rodriguez boards. I like his shape because it's really flat. The nose and tail, they're just the perfect size, So P-Rod boards I do like. Right now, the one that I am currently skating is a team board. So the next one I have here is a Wade Disarmo. This one's sick. I like that little guy right there. He's sick. I almost was gonna have these actually as wall hangers. I just think these are the best practice ever. But I go through boards so quick. Probably not a good idea because probably just end up taking it off the wall anyways. That. And like I just said, I have Paul Rodriguez here. So I usually skate his pro model because I just like how flat it is. And all my setups are identical. The only thing that changes is the shape or concave. Tech with Mr. Katak. How are you? Bahi Kiaha. So I have this Creep Show collab, Primitive. I am from Los Angeles, California. Born in Alhambra, California. I am currently at home doing a live. What is this? I'm doing a live setup video with my primitive skateboards, and I'm trying to get your guys' help to see which board I should set up. So I have this Paul Rodriguez creep show here, and again, another black top, black bottom. I love this. This is just, it's just, there's just, when I'm looking down skating at my board, it just gives a certain vibe when I'm looking down at something that I personally like and enjoy. And like I said, when I have something that's just too bright, it just doesn't feel, it's just not me. And it throws my vibe off. So I try to keep everything as dark as I can, especially black, obviously. Black hat, black shirt, black board. It just makes things a lot easier. But anyways, this is one of, I really like this one because I'm also a fan of the creep show. I've been watching this since I was a little kid. So really hyped on this one. Oh, okay. Another Paul Rodriguez and another black bottom, my favorite. I skated this board a couple of months ago. Loved it, loved it. Same thing. So this is one thing I'm going to point out. This is what I'm talking about. So all of Paul Rodriguez's pro models are the same. See how they just sit flat perfectly. His pro models don't change because obviously he doesn't want to, change the mold or whatever, because even when they do that at the factories, I'm sure that costs a lot of money to remake molds and, getting everything different when they already have it. So these are Paul Rodriguez boards, and as you can see, they look a little steep here, but these boards are really flat. So if you see here, these are a Hamilton and a Wade Desarmo. Now look at this. When you set them up, if you can see, the concave doesn't line up with the Spencer Hamilton. Obviously, because Wade Desarmo and Spencer Hamilton have two different molds, and they designed their boards different. So, what do you guys think? Which one should we set up? Should we set up that Call of Duty one? I'm kind of feeling that one. I've never played this game either. I haven't touched video games in a very long time. The only game I used to play, very cliche, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. But part one and part two. After it went to 3, 4, and you had to start using the joystick and stuff, got too crazy for me. I haven't played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in so long, man. I grew up on that. Quick little story. Years ago when the game first came out, you know how they used to have demos and you could only play one level and it would come in a magazine? I went to Target with my mom one day and I seen it in there. And, those magazines with the demos in it weren't cheap back then. So obviously my mom didn't buy it for me. I wanted that thing so bad. I came home with her and I went back over there. And you know what I did? I opened up that magazine and I took that demo. And I came home, and I played sick for a week. I didn't go to school for a week, and I just stayed inside my house playing the same level, same character. You could only be Tony Hawk in the warehouse. And my mom's thing was, if you don't go to school, you can't go outside. So I was like, all good. All my friends were staring at me through my screen window while I was playing Tony Hawk. Did that for a week straight, just played sick. Oh, I don't feel good. Well, they just watched me, but yeah, great times, man. I miss Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I miss all the music in it too. Such great soundtracks they had in Tony Hawk. So what do you think, guys? What board? P-Rod boards? Or should we do a Spencer Hamilton? Should we do a actually really do listen to Megadeth, though I've been listening to them since I was in elementary school. Another thing, so check this out. This is going to be my first time skating pepper grip. So I've been seeing a lot of videos of guys skating pepper grip and doing review videos on them. So I've been skating mob grip. I mean, since I don't know, since they've been out. I don't know how long they've been out for. I personally like mob grip. I haven't tried another sheet of grip in years. So I didn't have grip this week, and I went to work, and there was a whole pile of pepper grip there. So that was weird. That was, I mean, I guess that was meant to be, so that's why I'm doing this video today, because all I needed was grip. So everyone claims that this is a lot better than mob. The way that it feels, it kind of reminds me of Jessup. And the thing I like about mob is it doesn't leave this, when you touch it, it doesn't leave this grit on your fingers. It reminds me of Jessup, and Jessup used to do that a lot. It just would like, I don't know, I can't explain it. The grit would just fall off. It was really weird and messy. And this kind of has that. It's really weird. Mob, one thing I will say, it's great for the first couple of weeks, and yes, it does get a little, you know, it doesn't grip good after a while, especially when you get these little berries, or you get dust on it. And that's why I always carry grip cleaner on me too. Don't like a dirty board. So we are going to be testing out some pepper grip, along with, so this is my current setup right now. I did a whole video on setting this board up here. But, you know, I don't ride my boards along, only to the point where once the grip starts going, and, you know, my shoes right now are pretty new. So riding this board, it feels like there's no grip. So when I have a new shoe and a decent board, but the grip's not there, it's just, you know, it's time, because it just doesn't feel right. So, and I did kind of chip this one. I put a lot of work in with this board, actually, so I'm pretty hyped. But one thing I want to point out is this was one of my favorite graphics, because I think this was supposed to be the LA County logo. And I'm born and raised out here in Los Angeles, so I have a lot of love for where I come from. It means a lot to me. So this board worked really well. I had a lot of fun with this board. I got a lot of clips with it too. So this is what's starting to happen, is like the bushings are just getting fat, and they're starting to just get smashed down. So I have these here, and again, I always point out, my setups are completely identical. Same wheels, same bearings, same trucks, same board. The only thing that ever changes is if I'm skating a team model or a pro model. The only thing that changes is the concave or the shape of the board, which is not very, it's not drastic at all. Today, I'm thinking of actually switching out my bushings and throwing these bones in, taking these hangers off, and throwing them on this base plate. For some reason, these trucks just rode crooked when I threw them on. I've been skating these trucks because every board I put them on, the board just feels ready to go. I'm off, and the board is just riding straight. So that's a big pet peeve for me, of just when the board is not riding correctly. So moving on, so what do you guys think? What board should I set up? I'm really leaning towards that Call of Duty one. with Mr. Katab. Where are you from? You know what, guys? I think I'm going to go ahead and set this one up. I also like this blue stain top. That's another thing for me. A lot of people have different colors that they like to see on the top. I personally like the blue and purple. This one's really nice. Beautiful. I like that one. This turquoise and this pink here. One thing I love about Primitive is they don't go cheap on their product. It's not cheap to do this, to add the colored plies. So that makes a big difference. One thing I noticed when Primitive first came out, they were not using a colored veneer nor on top. So that already suggests to me that they were making their boards out in China. They literally looked like a blank board with the Primitive graphic on it. So I stood away from Primitive for a very long time. So one day, I got blessed with one, and I skated it and tagged them, and then after that, from there, because Paul Rodriguez does come to Pizzanista a lot, so from there, I showed him some footage. The team comes quite often after they're done skating. They come in the van, Trevor McClung, the whole crew. So, when they come, I like to show them my footage. I like to show them new clips, and yeah, man, they hook me up. So I'm really blessed about that. So, one thing I'm not on the team. I am just flowed by Primitive. I get 5 boards a month right now. I should be actually getting a package really soon. So I'm actually that's the thing. I have all these new ideas, all this stuff that's coming up, so I could do a video on the Primitive package. I'm going to be getting stuff from Bone soon. Mike Ballard is hooking that up, so I'm going to be doing reviews on Bone's wheels, Bone's bearings. So slowly things are starting to come along, so I'll have Primitive flow, I'll have Bones, Next thing I'm hoping to do is reach out to Mob, because I definitely could use a box of grip. So, with that being said, I think we will just go ahead and go with this P right here. I also like to use gloves while I'm setting up my board. I don't like the way the grip and everything leaves my hands, and it just leaves it really dry. I just don't like it. So I really do like to wear gloves while I'm setting up my boards. Little surgery, if you will. H30, what up? What you got going on? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. Setting up a new board right now. About to set up this P-rod. Little surgery. All right, guys, let's get to it. Excuse me for one moment while I get my razor blade. Some of you guys might recognize my tripod here, the little ghost bucket. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you guys too. So, no more bucket. Finally got a legit tripod. Yeah, so we're going to be doing doing a lot of cool stuff, man. This is actually Rick Cossack's tripod from 1992. Mike Ballard gave me this. He told me that he went to Rudy Johnson's house and he left this there. And then Mike Ballard went to Rudy Johnson's house and then he was like, hey, Rick left this here. You could have it. And so he gave it to me. If you guys could see, look at, there's a Circa sticker on there, 4-star, old school girl, DC. This thing's probably been around the world. So thanks, Mike. I really appreciate that. He set me up. So no more bucket and water bottle to set the phone up. Also got another thing I want to share with you guys. So if you guys are familiar with Rowdy the Dog, we have an upcoming event at Pizzanista in San Marino. We do have multiple locations. In LA right now we only have San Marino and downtown, but we are also in, I think it's Japan, and a couple of other places. Anyways, so it is June 28th from 11 to 3, 2461 Mission Street, San Marino, California, 91108. I know it's backwards, guys. But if you guys are familiar with Rowdy the Dog, we are doing a collaboration with him, and he will be at Pizzanista June 28th from 11 to 3, San Marino. So if you guys actually don't follow us on Instagram, please go follow Pizzanista. We got a lot of cool stuff. They give me a lot of cool opportunities there. I've done the DoorDash commercial with them. My day in the life video with my daughter and my family. So yeah, if you guys ain't doing nothing on the 28th, come down to the San Marino Pizzanista, and he's getting pro model grip, a board. We're doing his glasses, a hat. Dude's just popping off. So we're really hyped to do this collab with Rowdy. I also have here the Exo Flowers. So the book that I was recently featured in, that I had showed you guys, that Mike Ballard just finished, this is his second book. They're having an art show over at Kingswell, and this is June 14th from, well, there's no time here, but I'm sure it's in the evening. So it's gonna be Theo Hand and Mike Ballard, and they're gonna have their photos and an art show at Kingswell on June 14th. So if you guys ain't doing nothing, June 14th, come out to Kingswell. I will be there with the whole crew. I'm sure Mike's probably gonna be giving out some books. You guys can check out the photos hanging that are in the book. And like I said, again, very honored to be featured in that book next to all my favorite skateboarders. So again, thank you, Mike. So if you guys ain't doing nothing, June 14th, I'm pretty sure, I think it's at around 5 to 10. Come out to Kingswell. So yeah, guys, we got these two events. Kingswell, San Marino, Pizzanista. Come check them out. So let's get our razor blade out here. Give you a quick $1.50. All right, guys. So if you're just tuning in, I have a stack of boards, and I was trying to figure out which one to set up. So we went with this Call of Duty, Paul Rodriguez here. I am not a fan of video games, nor am I a fan of Call of Duty. I am a fan of the man P-Rod. So yeah, we will be setting this one up, and I like it again because of the dark coloration, just the black. It's just it's a really nice graphic. I like it. So we're gonna go ahead and go with this, with some pepper grip that I've never used before. I'm pretty curious to see how this is gonna work out. And so now this will also be a setup video. So let's see where this takes us, guys. So and this feeling, I'm 39 years old. I've been skateboarding for 32 years. This feeling never gets old. Smell of a new board, it's crazy. After that long, I still get the same excitement of setting up a board. You know, it's crazy. When I was a kid, I used to only get a board maybe twice a year. So whenever I would get a new board, late at night, I would just wake up and like just hold it and just kind of look at it. You know, kind of obsess over it because it was so rare for me to get new boards. So when I got a new board, it's crazy. My friends and family used to make fun of me because I would sand the edges. I would just try and maintain it because I knew that I wasn't going to probably get a board. I only got boards on my birthday and Christmas, and maybe a special occasion if, you know, something else was going on or if I saved my money. But even still till this day, I very much try to, you know, maintain my product and use it wisely. So I'm very, very appreciative to be getting boards from Primitive. Thank you. So now we will start with the grid. All right. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, I'm hyped on this one. What do you guys think? See the view. Yeah, this one's gonna be good. I can already do it. Yeah. All right, guys. Perforated holes like that, like mob. There's nothing worse than air bubbles. All right, guys, here we go. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. Hit me up with something. I'm getting bored here. Come on. Where are you guys from? What do you guys got going on today? Anything cool? Anything fun? I'm gonna set this board up and I'm gonna go out skating a little bit later. So this will be cool. And then I got my first class tomorrow. And again, updating you guys, I'm a part of this new program called Skate Haven. And we're gonna be teaching autistic kids how to skateboard. I'm really excited to be a part of this program. I'm gonna keep you guys updated and hopefully, if I'm allowed to, because I am going to be working with children. I don't know if I'm going to be able to film. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything like that. I am going to ask the parents before we do anything like that, because I would actually even like to turn that into videos when I do go out on the classes. So hopefully I'm able to do that. If not, I completely understand. You know, most people don't want their kids on film, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, tomorrow's my first day. Skate Haven. I'm sure you guys will be seeing this in the future. This is going to be something really big, and I am one of two people to be a part of this program. I may be saying his name wrong. Vincent Luevianos. He used to ride for Powell. Tall, skinny, bald dude, sick. The sickest skater ever. He blessed me with this opportunity. So he's the first one to be a part of Skate Haven. And he came to Pizzanista looking for me. He gave me this opportunity. A week went by after, and I was like, I was kind of skeptical about it. But they gave me a call yesterday and set everything up. And, you know, they really want me a part of this program. So I'm very blessed to be coming along with that. And I will be keeping you guys updated with that and taking you along that journey with me. New one, skater? What are you gonna set up? Are you gonna do a video? You gotta do a video and tap me in. I want to see what you're gonna set up. That's awesome. What's your setup? What did you get? Oh, Baker 825. That's what's up. Red. Yep, I like red. Black and red are my favorite colors. I know I said I don't like bright colors, but red is like another one that I can do because black and red go good together. So right now I am setting up pepper grip. I don't skate pepper grip, so I'm pretty curious to see how this is going to work out. Yeah. Yep. I would use Mob too. I just didn't have time to go to the store or to the skate shop and get it. Because I was explaining earlier, I needed grip, and then I got to work the other day, and there was a stack of pepper grip there, so it just worked out perfectly. So that's why I'm using pepper grip today. And if you guys want to check out my board, I'm going to show you guys the process and the steps that I take on how to grip my board. So I do start with the tail, and I leave to not even, I don't even know what that would be, but I barely leave anything hanging off. And that's another reason why I do like to wear these gloves is because I definitely do not want no arrows. Wow, that went on surprisingly easy. Okay, so that's a good start to this pepper, all right? And then what I do next is I always save this. I throw this on top here. So if you do this without gloves, it just leaves your hands all dry and scratchy, and you're just not really into that. Check this out. I've never done a rip or a cut design. I don't know, what kind of rip or cut would you do? Would you do like the lines in the board? You know what? No, I'm lying. 90s style. I used to do the three and girl used to make grip. They would do these they come in 4 pieces. I missed that. I used to love setting up my board with the 3 lines. That was a straight 90s thing. Now I'm just too lazy to do it, and actually one thing about it is if it didn't come like that and you had to cut it yourself, I would just be too lazy to get a ruler, and I was probably already out in the streets skating. So when you cut the grip and you lay it down, or when I lay it down, and it wasn't perfectly straight, it just threw everything off. So now I just keep it all black. But yeah, whatever you're gonna do, hey, share it with me, and post it. I would love to see what you're gonna do. 3 sections, yeah, 3 sections. I used to do, with the 2 lines, yeah, three pieces, 2 lines. I loved it. I would just do that just to know where my nose and tail was. But yeah, that was, if you look at old skate videos, 90s, everyone has their grip like that. It's just, I don't know, I guess it was just an aesthetic thing to do then. I personally like it. Or, you know what another thing was? People would grip their boards like this and leave like the edge off like that. That was also like another style thing. but also to know where your nose and tail is. Everybody having a good day out there? Ooh, orange Spitfires? That's what's up. What size? I ride size 54 bones. Yeah, they would leave like the edge like this. So like this part right here would be the wood. And you would just see the wood stain, but that would also let you know that that's your nose or your tail. You could either do it on the nose or the tail, but it was usually it was a tail thing. Yeah, you know what? That's exactly, you're like, everybody would say that. They're like, nah, that would drive me crazy. But again, you know, it's just an aesthetic thing, whatever makes you happy, you know, no doubt. And it does, you know, when you're trying to maybe you gotta actually know what side to put it on for what tricks you do all the time, because if you do it on a side where you're doing tray flips, obviously there's no grip there, so it does make it a little bit harder. But you know, it was just an aesthetic thing, and I don't really see anybody doing that anymore. But again, yeah, I like to do this for work. I cannot stand air bubbles. It's all right. Hey, you ain't got a kickflip to have fun on a skateboard. Even after 32 years, I still struggle with kickflips. I learned heel flips first, so yeah, I don't know. I struggle with kickflips, so that's okay. You don't even have to do any tricks to have fun on a skateboard. Oh, that's cool. The learning process. That's what makes it fun. You should do a video on your kickflip progress. I'm actually going to be doing how-tos. I'm going to be doing progress videos. I'm just getting a lot of different ideas from different content creators. And I'm trying to come up with my own stuff. You know, I got a lot of cool things going on that I'm going to be doing in the future. But, you know, until I lead up and get those things going, I'm going to be doing, you know, just how-to videos. You know, even just set up the phone and try a new trick and see how many tries it takes me. I'm usually, if I was doing something like that, I would just post the land. You know, so now I think it would be pretty cool to, you know, just show you guys the process and maybe even relearning tricks, you know. I like those videos of people just setting their phone up and relearning tricks. That's always fun, you know, so I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff like that. One thing I do want to do is be more consistent on here. I definitely am going to try and post more videos. I did post a video the other day where I was at Garbanza Skate Park. I did a little skate park tour. I just warmed up over there. It wasn't anything long because a lot of people did start showing up, and that park does get quite packed. And I didn't want to be that guy with and where my phone was set up when I was there, I was getting in people's way. So I didn't want to be that dude, so I cut that video kind of short. So if you guys didn't get a chance to go check that video out, it is a Garbanza warm-up and skate tour. It is in Highland Park, California, if you guys never been there. I'm sure in the video you guys will recognize the big pool that's there. Oh, your birthday was 3 days ago? Happy birthday. All right, the one new skater, no doubt. I'm gonna check your channel out after I'm done. What do you guys got planned for the weekend? You guys skating? I'm gonna be doing this weekend. I actually have another class set up. It's gonna be my second class on Saturday with Skate Haven. So hopefully I can go live if they do allow me to film. If not, you know, I'll probably do a live and just update you guys on it after on how it went. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. My first day is tomorrow. Alright, I think that's about enough for that. Now for my favorite part. Screwdriver for this, sand down the edges. Not sand it down, scrape it down, whatever you guys Ah, thanks. You know, like I'm not a gamer. I've actually never played Call of Duty. My patience would definitely be tested with video games these days. I'm sure you guys are just all really good at it, so I stay away from that. But if you got some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 for me, bless up. Actually, I wish you know what? I might even just buy a PlayStation 1 just so I can have that game again. So, got her gripped. Time for the cut. So now what I like to do with my grip, because I love a good grip job. There's nothing worse than a bad grip job. It just doesn't look right. It just looks like a little kid's board. I call it like, you know, like a little kid that just has ice cream and candy all around his mouth. It just looks gross, you know. Just like it just looks like obviously he set it up, no doubt, you know what I'm saying? So when I look down and I got a nice, clean, crisp cut, it just mentally helps me skate better, you know. It just, a lot of people, you know, would agree with this, that it's not really about the equipment that will make you better. I really disagree with that, though. Looking down at something that you really like and that you choose and what you prefer, I think it helps mentally. I just think that it you know, when you're looking down at something that you like and that you picked out, it gives that confidence. You feel good, you skate good, you know, you just, it comes all around. So with that, that's why I take so much time on my setups, because I just want to feel good on my board all the time, on and off of it. So even when I'm just looking at it, you know, I don't want to look at a brand new setup and be like, damn, I fucked up on that grip, or this is ugly. You know, I like to see my setup and see it crisp, you know, ready to go. Yeah, if you got told it looks like a skate shop, well, actually, you don't necessarily have to work at a skate shop in order to get a good grip job. And I'll say this, most people that work at a skate shop, and if you let them do your grip, they actually mess it up. Because most of the time, nowadays, people that work at skate shops don't skate. So yeah, usually, it's really funny, if I've ever, I think the last time I went to a skate shop and got a board or something, they asked if they wanted to grip it, and I told them no, and you know what they told me? I couldn't grip it in there because I couldn't use the razor blade. because they said that if I cut myself that they'd be liable. Kind of crazy, but yeah, I suggest going home and gripping your board yourself. I think it's a better feeling. And of course, can you imagine getting your board back from somebody that doesn't skate and it looks like a dog set up your board and chewed on your nose and tail, and it's brand new? I'm good at that. Anyways, so here's the first step. I like to cut right here. Make that little cut. And then I do another one right here on the concave. Then I do one in the middle. Middle there. Another one on the concave here. Another one up here on the nose. Skate homies, let's go. No doubt. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. If you guys are barely tuning in, setting up a new board right here. This Call of Duty P-Rod. And we'll do another one in the middle here. And we'll do the last one. The concave here. Alright guys, so that's how I grip it, that's how I make the first cuts on it, and I do that so that I could just do one small section and make sure that it comes out straight, because if you try to just do it all in one, sometimes the razor blade isn't sharp enough on one side or whatever, and it gives you that, like, I just call it a shark tooth setup, you know, so I don't like that. So let's see how this one comes out. So first off, I like to start with the nose up here, and that's why I make that cut, so that I could just throw her in there, and then I go to this cut on the concave. So it just gives me this simple cut here like this. And I like to take it slow too. I'm not in no rush gripping my boards, setting them up. Excuse me if the phone falls. I like to flip her around and get this piece off. Nice and perfect. Flip her around. Then I do this last side. You want to just let it glide, because you will get a piece of the board. And one thing I recommend when you're doing it, I like to hold this and then just let it glide. thing. Grab one corner of it, just let the blade glide through it. Now all we have left is this corner and this corner. No, I still have this whole side. My bad. So anyways, starting with the nose here. I'm going to glide all the way down. There we go. Now we're going to do the last side. So if you ever get the grip and it's too short on the side, what you want to do is just get the razor blade, slightly run it across so that it lifts up, so that you're not catching any of the board when you're cutting it. She's great. What do you guys think? Now P-Rod. Yeah, it is always better to have a really, I mean, I've been gripping boards for years, so I feel like I have really good control over the razor blade, and the sharper it is, the slower you need to take it, but man, is your grip gonna just come out looking so crisp. When you got a new razor blade, you know, I just like that little taper around the board, and like I said, you know, there's nothing worse than a bad grip job, so, you know, that sucks. Thanks, buddy, I appreciate that. I hope it skates good, too. Keep you updated on it. I'm sure it'll skateboard. Now what I'm going to start off with, guys, is taking apart these trucks here. Thunders 149s. These are 149s. They fit an 8.5 board. So 149 Thunders, Bones bushings medium. 54 is Bones 103A. That's the hardest they make. And I just do Bones Reds when I pop the shields out. So just keep it simple. I go through bearings really quick. You have the same tool, the T-tool? Yeah. I've had this for about 10 years. This thing has traveled with me too. It's been all over South America. Went on tour with me. It was crazy because people would ask to use it. And I would always keep my eye on it because I just wanted, because it had been with me so long and I've had this tool for so long because they always get jacked. So yeah, this thing has been around the world. Indies, that's what's up. They're a little too heavy for me, but that's cool. I heard all their new the new stuff they got going on is really good. All right. Let's take her apart. One thing I also like to use is I only use Allen key. I just like the way it sits on the grip. I don't like my bolt to stick up. I'm really picky about my board. So I do like using Allen key. Because it just sits in the grip better. I like it. Yeah, Independent's got a really good team right now. My favorite skater from them is Alexis Ramirez. He just got on Nike. He's on Skate Mafia. Long hair. He's sick. I think he has a pro model truck, actually. All right, so we are going to start out with the first truck here. Oh yeah, if your trucks are too loose, they'll fall apart. Gotta be careful for that. I ride my truck so tight, that definitely would never happen to me. I gotta loosen up my trucks. So we are gonna start out with the roof first. I also like using these small bolts because I like it to sit flush. I don't like when it comes sticking out. It just looks a little weird. So I like it to sit real flush like that and have my setup just clean and sleek. It's really important to me. And I think the real reason why I am like that so much with my boards is because of all the years when I was a kid, I couldn't ever pick out what I wanted. Like stuff would just be handed me, and I appreciated it. But it wasn't stuff that I wanted. So as I got older and I was able to get my hands on things that I wanted to set up, I made sure to always keep it that way because that was always a dream of mine. I always grew up with a lot of older people, and I was the youngest one in my crowd, so I didn't, I obviously didn't have a job. I didn't have a lot of money, so I was always seeing people set new stuff up, and I was always pretty jealous of that. So when I ever had the chance in life to actually be able to do that, and I'm blessed now that, I get flowed from different companies, I make sure to keep my stuff, make sure to keep my equipment up to par. I just think it looks a little weird when you have busted equipment, busted board, and don't get me wrong, I've been around the world and I've seen kids killing it without a nose and a tail on their board. And usually what I would do, I would take apart my board and give it to them because it would just blow me away. It happened a lot in Brazil. I would give a lot of my product away because it would just blow my mind how good these kids were with the equipment that they were using. And also it brought me to a state of mind of there's no excuses. It doesn't matter how bad your stuff is, you're still able to skate. But for me, it's just a mental thing. So that's how I go about it. All right, man, have a good day at drum practice. Thanks for tuning in. And so I am using diamond hardware here. I like Felipe Gustavo's pro model hardware again because he uses the little guys. So, and it just sits flush like that. No, nothing sticking out the bottom. I don't like that. One new skater. Bless, man. Appreciate it. Have a great day. And if you didn't, please subscribe, like, and comment. Turn your friends onto my channel, man. I'd really appreciate that. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Got that third one off, guys. I also like them too because you just got to do a couple of 3 or 4 turns and they're off. And there's it. So there we go. First truck off. I also recommend E-Friend. What's good, Papa? E-Friend's a good friend of mine. We used to work together. He's a great skater too. So I'll probably be bringing him on my channel the next time we go out skating if you're down, E-Friend. And also, guys, I will be saving this board. I've mentioned it multiple times. So now that I have multiple setups, I now have extra bearings, extra wheels, and I will have this board. So if you guys do need anything and you see me on my live and you're out in LA and you need a board, wheels, bearings, just hit me up, meet me at the spot, and I will be more than happy to hook you up. I will never sell anything. That feeling of when I used to get things when I really needed it is a great feeling. So I hope to be able to pass that on. And I know how expensive stuff is too, so whenever I can help, please let me know. You working today, E-Friend? I'm actually going to set this board up and then figure out where to go. Probably hit up a skate park just to break her in. If not, maybe some flat ground. Last one. You need another board. Alright, I'll hit you up later and let you know where I'm going to be at. Treated us well. Got a lot of clips on it. Got a lot of things done with this thing. Wow. Barely down like 2 plies, if anything. Like I said, guys, I barely use my boards. You know, it's not really about how used the graphic is to me. It's about the grip, the pop. Once that starts going, it's just a time for me to change it, so. Yeah, no doubt. Let me know if you need anything, friend. I got you. Alright guys, so this is one thing that I wanted to show you that is happening and why I want to switch it up. So that is not normal on the bottom. My board is starting to ride. I've actually been riding these bushings for quite a while. So if you guys could see the difference. This one isn't so smashed. So obviously my board is starting to ride crooked. So what we are going to do is change the hangers. Get all this shards of grip tape off the table here. Looks like I broke a bunch of glass on here. That's a thing that I hate too. Setting boards up inside, I gotta stop doing that. It's such a mess. Alright. Alright guys, for those of you just tuning in again, setting up this Call of Duty Paul Rodriguez 8.5 with pepper grip. I've never skated pepper grip before. I only skate mob, but earlier, like I was saying, I didn't have time to go to the skate shop, and I went to work the other day, and there was just a stack of pepper grip there. So guess it was meant to be. So we're gonna go ahead and try it out. Feels really grippy though. I like that. So, and the SB dunks I'm skating right now are gum. Highly recommend gum-soled dunks. They are the best. For some reason, when the other ones that don't have the gum sole, they feel really slippery. So now, again, what I do is the holes here, kind of just like to from the bottom, but I don't push it all the way through because it lifts up the grip. So what I like to do is just kind of give you a little pinpoint from on top, and then I come from the top in. Because if you do it from the bottom up, it's going to lift your grip up. So I highly recommend just kind of giving yourself a little, a little pinpoint of where you can hit it from the top. So, there's been a couple of times where I just got lazy and just wanted to poke it from the bottom and did it, and it just completely destroyed the grip job. So, don't want to do that. This pepper grip's pretty thick. And I like to do this to get all that excess grip tape out from inside here, because if you leave that grip and you put your bolts in, your board, and if you didn't set it up like straight and your base plates aren't lined up, your board's going to start riding crooked, and the grip tape keeps your hardware stuck like that. So I highly recommend pushing out all that excess grip from inside your hardware holes. So it should look something like this after. You should be able to just see whatever, through the holes perfectly like that. So That's the way I like to do it. Yeah, this is going to be a nice board. I'm really feeling this already. How's everybody skating today? Anybody out here in Los Angeles? So before my phone dies, let me plug this in. Hello everybody, this is my daughter. For you guys out there that don't know, I'm also a dad. This is my 5-year-old daughter here. Her name is Willow. She's going to be out on the sessions with us, so once I get her going on the camera, she's going to be my personal filmer. Yep. Probably be pulling you out of school so Daddy could get some clips. Don't tell Mommy. Okay. All right. That'll be our little secret. All right, guys, so I had to get the extendo extension cord here so I don't botch this live, because I usually keep rambling on and I don't look at my, I don't look at the battery on the phone, and then I end up just ruining this whole thing. So let me get this in. Today, this is my tripod, so I just have the phone in here. So, moving on. Putting these holes in. What kind of boards are you guys skating? Anybody setting up boards, or what's your guys' favorite companies? All right. So we have our grip, got our holes poked. Now time to doing our hardware. When I'm doing my hardware, I also like to do this. It really, if I can't basically just like pop the bolt out with like just barely, basically it doing this, you know, that means that there's still grip in there. You guys can see all this excess grip just falling out of there. If you don't do that and you just set it up and your trucks are a little crooked, it's just going to get stuck that way because of the bottom part of the grip is stuck inside the hardware hole, so I highly recommend doing this. All right. On our first truck. And I also use one gold hardware so that I can differentiate from the nose and tail. So this is why I also like using Felipe Gustavo, because it has just one gold bolt. So I really like this one. And again, too, because he uses the short ones and it just sits flush on the board, it just looks really nice. And so you can see the hardware just sits flush and it goes in perfectly. If you have to struggle with putting in your hardware, then that means you still have grip tape inside the hardware. So, okay. Perfect. So like I said, what I'm going to do today is set up these old trucks, but I'm going to leave the base plate, and I'm going to put on new hangers and new bushings. See if you can do it NASCAR style, just fall fast. I don't like using a drill. I highly recommend when you're setting up your boards, do not use a drill. You're going to put too much pressure on your trucks and on the board. And again, if you use a drill and you put your trucks on and they come out crooked, your board's going to stay crooked. So I highly recommend never using a drill to set your board up. That's a straight skate shop thing too. That's how you know somebody doesn't skate, when they're working at a skate shop and they pull out the drill. See how far they sink those bolts in to your grip and your board. I've seen so many people use a drill and it's like it just went through the whole board. So, and it'll give you pressure cracks and it'll make you crack your board a whole lot easier because it puts so much pressure in here that if you land wrong, nose or tail, all that pressure just builds up in there and it just pretty much explodes. So this is also another thing that I do. Before I tighten up my bolts, I like to kind of bang it out and get all that excess grip tape out and make sure my board, or make sure my trucks are set perfect. Because like I said, the one thing that I complain about a lot is my board riding crooked. I cannot stand that. And that happened to me last month when I did that setup video. Right when I threw my board down, I could already tell that it was going to the left. Such a horrible thing. Let's do a back truck. Gold bolt. What I like to do is set it up on the right hand side, on the right side, all the way in the back. And that's how I can tell my nose and tail. That's why I like to definitely do the stop with the gold one. If I don't use Felipe Gustavo's hardware, I use the P-Rock hardware. They're the same thing. I like his too because all of his bolts are gold. It just looks really dope when you have like an all black board with the gold bolts. Man, shit looks clean. you guys just tuning in, I'm setting up a new board. It's Call of Duty here, P-Rod Primitive 8.5. Thunders 149, 54 bones, 138. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. Alright guys, we have the second truck on. And again, we're going to do a ritual thing here. This is how day one board sounds and looks. His trucks are so loose that this is, I don't know how he skates like that, but he does. What do you guys think so far? Clean. I'm actually really digging this one. The hype I set this one up actually. Dang. Wow. I've been skateboarding for 32 years. I've been skateboarding since 1995. I've never stopped. I've never stopped. I've been going for 32 years strong. I'm 39. I've been skateboarding since 1995. I got into skateboarding because of my older brother. My first skateboard was actually given to me by my stepbrother. And then my older brother got a board and he started taking me. I actually got to skate the old school Venice pits. That's how long I've been skating. I used to take the bus there with my brother when I was in the 4th grade and his friends. So that was really cool. But I couldn't really do anything on them back then because I was so small. But I'll never forget the smell. Piss. It was a unique smell that you'll never forget. But very blessed that I was actually able to skate that place before they buried it. It's actually still there, but it's buried under all the sand, and it's buried under the new skate park that's there now. So a real big piece of history, and if you guys want, I highly recommend you check out the Venice Pits videos, whatever they have going on YouTube. If you guys want to do some real street skateboarding history, also go watch Mouse, the girl video. Guy Mario, the whole team actually has tricks there at the Venice Pits. An amazing spot. But yeah, I'm really blessed that I actually got to skate there. So this is one thing why I say don't use a drill, because you can gauge it by the feeling of your hand and see how deep your you can see how deep the hardware goes into the grip, and like I said, I like it to sit flush. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really hyped on this setup. Fast bit, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm hyped on this setup. So this is where I start with it. So I start on the bottom here, and what you want to do is I never turn it from the top where the grip is. Always use the bottom because it takes a lot of pressure off. It takes a lot of pressure off of the wood. And that's why I say don't use a drill, because I've been setting up boards so long with this tool that I have that feeling and I know exactly how many cranks and turns it's going to be. It sits perfectly flush. So I don't like any of this, and that's why I think, I'm sorry for getting the the other bolts, not Allen key. I'm sorry, I'm going brain dead right now. Is a lot easier and they sit more flush, and I tend to think that the other bolts tend to stick up a little bit more, and I don't like that. And I also go parallel, so I start here, then I move up to here, then down, then up. That was a trick that Rob Deerdick said that he's seen Eric Costin doing, and exactly what that point is, so your board don't go crooked. So yeah, I learned that, and that's the way I've been setting up my board ever since. I use Diamond Hardware, Felipe Gustavo's Pro model. And if I'm not using Felipe's hardware, I'm using P-Rod's hardware because they use the same length, and he rocks the gold setup. So I like to keep it flush there. Like I said, always go from the bottom. Don't tighten up your hardware from the top. And we are almost finished, guys. You might have to crank it a couple times from the top because where your truck's set, and actually the tool that I have, when I get to the corner, the tool just doesn't sit in it right, so I do have to do that with one bolt. Don't crank it too much. Don't get your soldier boy cranky, because it will add that pressure. Alright, so that's the way I like them to sit, just nice and flush. Perfect. What do you guys think of the setup so far? Pretty clean, right? So this is the one that I'm talking about, guys, where you kind of have to crank it from the top because the shape of the truck and this tool doesn't really catch it right. So up here in the corner, I have to tighten it from the top. And like I said, go parallel, so top to bottom. Alright guys, it's looking good. I'm going to do now is we're going to take apart the trucks and we're going to replace the hanger and we're going to replace the bushings. Riding these for quite a while. They're still pretty good. But yeah, since I have a new hanger, I thought, hey, why not? Let's just go ahead and set up a home. And so you can see here, once that starts happening, that's when your board will start riding crooked. So obviously you can see it's not sitting inside the bushing yet. So yeah, these bushings last a really long time. So never have an issue. But yeah, these I ride mediums. And for you guys who don't know, these the white and the black ones are the same. They're both mediums. So if you get a black pair, or you get confused, because I got confused when I got home, so I thought I had bought another, or I thought I had white ones on, and then I got home and I was like, oh great, did I get the softer ones? But I looked at the box and these are also mediums. So mediums come in black and in white. And so these were the trucks from the last time that I set up. Yeah, I ride Bones bushings because Thunder bushings are just way too soft. They really need to work on their bushings. So I highly recommend if you don't like the standard bushings that your trucks come with, I highly recommend switching to Bones. Setups are identical, so whatever I need to change out for something a little newer, a little older, whatever it may be, it's all the same stuff. So it just makes it a lot easier on me. So I'm hoping by me putting these new hangers on with these new bushings, I'm hoping this board is going to ride straight. So I'm really hoping on that. I'm really banking on that. Got that on. Alright, guys. And since these bushings are medium, you don't have to tighten them so much. So, but of course, I'm not going to really be able to gauge it right now until I actually pull my board down on the ground and start testing. But like I said, I ride my trucks pretty tight, probably tighter than the normal or your average skateboarder. It just helps with my pop. When my trucks are too loose, I just feel like I have no pop. Just a really weird feeling. I like a consistent pop. So usually I keep the kingpin bolt real flush with it too, so that's exactly how I can gauge how tight my stuff is. So I'm going to take the second truck off here. I always grind down my back truck more than my front truck. see here, same thing. That piece is starting to go inside. So once that starts happening, the setup just gets a little funky. So I'm going to switch those out. So what I'm doing is placing these hangers using my old base plates and rocking some new bushings here. Hanger on. I just did a couple of grinds like the last time that I had them, so or had it put on, but they were going crooked. So let's see what's going to happen today. Almost done, guys. What do you guys think of the setup? I'm really digging this board. Sitting nice and flush again. And let's get these wheels and bearings off. These are pretty new, so I just set these up with that last bolt that we put on, so we'll go ahead and keep using these actually. And I ride my, I do the graphics on the inside. I don't like looking at, when I set up a new board and you have the graphic on the outside, it just looks like a little kid setup. It looks like a straight little Christmas setup. So I do like a clean look. So I do throw the graphic on the inside. And with how tight I do the axle, I leave a little bit of play. Not too much. One thing why I do ride B3s is because I do like to see my bolt stick out of the board a little bit. That's a personal preference. I don't like when the wheel sits inside, or I don't like when the bolt sits inside the wheel. Spitfires, the last time I was riding Spitfires before I started riding Bowman wheels, they're just really fat and the bolt sits inside of it, and when I look down at my board, it just seems heavier and bulkier for some reason. Wheels make a huge difference on a setup, for me personally. So I do love using these skinny wheels, because I do like seeing the bolt popping out. Yeah, it does mess your axles up when you primo and stuff, but I mean, whatever, you know, that comes with it. I always use the washers too, so if you guys are wondering what these are for or why they're on, a lot of pros nowadays are starting to stack these on top of each other and put them in the bottom of the wheel because it widens up your truck. Ishad Ware has been doing that, and Jamie Floyd. So they've actually been stacking 3 on top of each other, throwing it on, because it gives you that extra truck space. I'm already riding 149s. I don't know if they ride 149s, and that's probably why, because they probably skate an 825 and they're not skating 149s. So I think an 8.5 is probably too big for them. Plus riding 149s, they would have to switch up their whole setup. So I think that's just a different way for them to do it, instead of having to switch up their whole setup. So, but I just do the old school way. I just do one and one. Since I'm riding 149s, I just feel like I already have enough trucks. So I'm comfortable with that. Not too much, but not too little. And again, you put too much pressure on that, you're gonna pop your bearing. As you start skating, everything starts loosening up, so you gotta remember that too. Things aren't gonna stay as tight as if they were when you got set it up. So after a while of skating, it will start to get, stuff will start to loosen up. Alright, last wheels off, guys. What do you guys skate? I use Bones Reds. I was using Swiss, but for some reason, the impact with Swiss, because I don't think Swiss are made more for a lot of impact, so I just destroy Swiss really fast. So I just use Bones Reds because I can switch them out every setup and not really have to worry about you know how expensive the Swiss bearings are. I did buy a set maybe a year ago. I used them for about a month and destroyed them. Like I'm not the type of person too where I'm gonna clean them and everything. That's why I like using Bones Reds because, you know, they're only 20 bucks. And you know, whatever, I do a setup maybe twice a month. So I don't mind spending the 20 bucks to set up new bearings. But now that I'm going to be getting stuff from Bones, and since Ballard hooked that up, I'm going to be getting Bones flow now. So. And I just did. I could have asked for Swiss, whatever, but you know, I just asked for Reds because I don't want to be thinking about that while I'm skating. I just want to have fun and you know, destroy my stuff. What kind of bearings do you use? A lot of people are all about Bronson right now. I've been riding the same thing for so long that it's just really hard for me to try new grips. I mean, obviously today I'm trying Pepper grip. I've only never used but I've been so picky about my stuff, and I've been using the same brand and same shape, same everything for so long that it's really hard for me to switch it up. It just messes with me mentally. Alright guys, last wheel. Yeah, Bones Reds are smooth. top the shield off because after a while, maybe the axle or your wheel gets set in, and when you have that bolt running against that rubber, it just tends to slow you down. So I do pop my shields, but also it does mess your bearings up 10 times quicker, no doubt about that. So, but, and I just like the way it looks too. So, there's the setup, guys. Call of Duty, Paul Rodriguez, 8.5, Pepper Grip, Thunder 149s, Bones, Wheels 103A G3s, Diamond Hardware, Felipe Gustavo. Yeah, I'm hyped to try this setup out. So today I may go live again. If not, I'll probably just do a video of how the setup came out and a review. And hopefully tomorrow I can take you guys on the journey with me to the class. And if they're allowing me to film while I'm teaching the class, I would love to take you guys with me on that. So keep a lookout for that. It's Skate Haven. I'm really excited to be a part of this program. So keep a lookout for that. I'm going to keep you guys updated on that. I'm going to have a lot of content about that because I really want to see how far we can bring this program. So keep a lookout for that, guys. And thank you for tuning in. So we finished this setup. We did a Call of Duty, Paul Rodriguez, Primitive 8.5. Again, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, guys. I'm almost going to be monetized, so please help me out with that. Once I get monetized, then I can start doing my reviews. And I also, again, I have my own product coming out. It's going to we don't know what we're going to call it yet, but right now it's called Real LA Shit, and we're going to just do my last name with the Avila with the LA. We have stickers and stuff coming out, so I'm going to keep you guys updated on my products so that I can also add that in my store once I get monetized. So please, guys, help me out with that. So thank you for tuning in, and if I go live later, I'll keep you updated with that. If not, I'm going to be doing a review video on the setup and a whole lot of other things coming out. So thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day, everybody.